She thought she was just intimidating another homeowner. She had no idea who I really was. My name is Judge Rachel Monroe, and this is the story of how the HOA's power-hungry president kidnapped my son, and destroyed her own life. My husband and I had just moved into a peaceful suburban neighborhood in Virginia. We chose the area for the great schools and the tight-knit community, at least that's what the brochures said. I kept a low profile. No one knew I was a federal judge. I liked it that way. I just wanted to be Rachel, the mom with the golden retriever and the 6-year-old boy who loved dinosaurs. Our home was beautiful, and my son Noah finally had a backyard to play in. The only thing I didn't like: the HOA president. Her name was Karen Whitmore. She was pushy, arrogant, and always watching. She complained when I left my trash bins out 10 minutes too long. She fined us for our mailbox not being HOA approved, by 1 inch. My husband told me to ignore her. But I could tell, she had a taste for control. And she was obsessed with power. One morning, I came home after a long hearing in court. I was still in my black suit, heels clicking on the driveway. Karen was standing near my garage, arms crossed. "Judge, why looking outfit for a stay-at-home mom?" she said sarcastically. I smiled politely. "I work in government." She raised her eyebrows but didn't ask more. Days later, she showed up again, this time, furious that my son had drawn chalk dinosaurs on the sidewalk. I laughed and told her it would wash away. "Not HOA approved," she snapped. I replied calmly, "Neither is your attitude." That was the beginning of her vendetta. Karen began a campaign of harassment. Petty fines, anonymous complaints, noise violations, even though we were asleep by 9 p.m. I recorded everything. I stayed calm. I knew the law better than she ever would. Then, one rainy Thursday, I came home early. Noah was supposed to be at the neighbor's house for a playdate. But when I got there, the neighbor said, "Karen picked him up." She said you asked her to. My blood ran cold. I called her. No answer. I called again. Voicemail. I called 911. "My child's been kidnapped. He's with a woman named Karen Whitmore, head of the Willow Creek HOA. She took him without permission." Police responded. But Karen told them it was a misunderstanding. She gave me permission. She lied. They asked me, "Do you have custody documentation?" I pulled out my ID. "I'm Judge Rachel Monroe, United States District Court. That's my son." Everything changed. The officer's demeanor flipped instantly. Karen was arrested on the spot for kidnapping a minor. But it wasn't over. Karen thought she'd get off easy. It was just a neighborly gesture, she said. But she didn't know I had surveillance footage of her stalking our home. She didn't know I had voice recordings of her threatening me. And she really didn't know that I personally knew the federal judge presiding over her bail hearing. I recused myself from any legal oversight, but my evidence spoke louder than I ever could. Her defense: that I provoked her, that I was a snob, that I was secretly powerful, and scared her. The prosecution presented texts where she called me a fake judge mom, and a threat to the HOA. Karen was sentenced to 8 years in federal prison for child endangerment, abduction, and abuse of authority under civil code. Her HOA position was terminated. Her husband filed for divorce within a month. Her house was foreclosed when she couldn't pay the legal fees. And as for me, the neighborhood held a meeting. They voted to dissolve the HOA entirely. Turns out, she'd been terrorizing people for years. But no one stood up, until Noto Day. Noah plays with chalk dinosaurs again. No one complains. I still keep a low profile, but I've learned that silence enables bullies. Karen underestimated me because I was quiet. She assumed I was weak. She didn't know that I don't fight back with fists, I fight with justice. So to anyone out there dealing with a power-hungry HOA president, sometimes, the best revenge is letting the law do a job.